Howdy AdWords fans, and welcome back. In this lecture, we're going to talk about tablets. The reason why I wanted to focus a little bit more time on tablets is because Google recently started allowing advertisers to control bidding on tablets, which is fascinating. For all these years, you were not able to control bidding on tablets. You could see the reports, you could see how many clicks you were getting on tablets, but you couldn't actually adjust the bid or increase your bid to be more aggressive on tablets. And just recently, Google released that feature. Now, tablets have really interesting results, okay? This graph on the right is pulling from over 4 million clicks throughout our client accounts. In fact, I'll show you what the data looks like right here. And just highlighting the clicks column, you can see down here the sum is 4,175,000 clicks just over the last few months, right, across hundreds of accounts that we manage in our agency. Shameless plug right there. But let's go back to our slides. So what we're looking at here again is it's an analysis of over 4 million clicks across 100 of our client accounts. Now, if you notice this orange line, right, we see a steep decline. This orange line represents conversion rate. And if you see this orange line, it kind of slopes all the way down, starting at around a 4.9, close to a 5% conversion rate, and dipping to, let's say, a 3.9 conversion rate right over here. And that's a significant dip, right? And you see this sort of steep decline as we go from computers, right? This line right here is representing computers. This line right here is representing phones. And this bar over here is the one representing tablets. So we see a really steep decline in click conversion rate with tablets. What's interesting is you're paying for that traffic. So on the left axis over here is the price per click, right? This is average price per click. So computers, which makes sense, you're typically going to see your highest cost per click on computers somewhere in between $3 and $3.50. And then you see a pretty sharp decline when it gets to mobile, and that's something we do see as well. You see a lower cost per click on mobile devices typically than on tablets. But then again, on tablets, the one you get the worst performance for is the one with a higher cost per click than mobile phones. It's not as expensive as computers because advertisers are less aggressive, but because there's a premium for the size of the screen, you're going to be paying more on average on tablets. Now listen, of course, you're looking at a huge pool of data across hundreds of different accounts in different industries and in different verticals. So your business might be different. You might have the cheapest clicks on tablets with the greatest conversion rates, but I doubt it. And the data does not show that that's likely to be the case, right? So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting stuff. Now, phones are small, cellular networks are slow, but what's the deal with tablets, right? Why are tablets behaving in this way? Why is there such a low conversion rate on tablets? On tablets, people are typically going to be connected to a Wi-Fi network at home. I was reading somewhere recently that the most popular use of tablets is just people on their couch not wanting to carry their laptop over. So what's really going on with tablets? And I, once again, have a hypothesis, and I think it makes a lot of sense what that answer is. But first, here's a piece of advice. Don't bid on tablets to begin with, especially if you have a limited budget. It's very, very similar, especially if you're not going to be bidding on mobile phones, right? You're going to want to not bid on any tablets. You want to have a negative bid adjustment of 100%. We're going to show you how to do that. You don't configure it at this part of creating a campaign, but there's nothing wrong because nothing wrong with doing that. You could always go back and increase your bids on tablet. You could increase your bid on mobile devices. You could play with your bid adjustments all the time. But once again, if you have a limited budget, or if you're beginning new campaigns, or your campaigns are not profitable and you want to kind of start trying to conserve money, this is the first place to look. Take a look at what's going on tablet and take advantage of Google's new ability to remove tablet traffic if it's bleeding money, as this chart shows many accounts are. But really, what's going on with tablets? So here's the answer. Tablets have an identity crisis. And what do I mean by that? Responsive design is the culprit. And that might sound a little counterintuitive, right? Because responsive design is supposed to make everything better. Responsive design is supposed to make every website look beautiful on every screen size. But that's not the case. Responsive design does not make every single website look beautiful on every single screen size. What happens typically, especially if you're using a WordPress site or you didn't hire a real agency to build your website, or you put your website together yourself and you don't have a lot of background and expertise with this sort of thing, typically breakpoints are optimized for desktop and mobile only. Tablets get lost in the middle. What's a breakpoint? Responsive designs are built around a grid system, and as every single area of your site is part of a grid in what's called a fluid or dynamic grid. And as the width of the screen gets smaller and smaller, these boxes rearrange themselves. They stretch, they get taller, they stack on top of each other. And when those boxes move, when they stack or when they expand, is considered a breakpoint. Basic responsive websites look great on desktops because they'll expand to the width of the browser for desktop, and they're optimized for mobile. More importantly, oftentimes when companies design their mobile sites, they optimize the content also. As opposed to just the design, they'll remove certain content that's not relevant. They'll change background images that are large, that will load slowly on a cellular network. They'll remove background videos, all those things. But what happens is they load on tablets as well, which hurts the user experience. And bad user experience is the number one reason for having conversion rates that suffer. If people don't have a good experience on your site, conversion rates are going to suffer. And that's what's happening with tablets. Because tablets are in the middle, websites with responsive design, they oftentimes look really awkward. I project the tablet traffic, the quality of the tablet traffic, the conversion rates of tablet traffic, they are going to get much better as brands continue to redefine their responsive experiences. And Tim Ash from Site Tuners, who's fantastic, you should read a lot of his content, he's put out some research that shows that spending on traffic acquisition outpaces spending on traffic optimization, i.e. fixing your tablet landing page and website experiences by a factor of 92%. So people are really, really investing in AdWords and really investing in PPC and really investing in buying that traffic, but they're not investing enough in fixing the websites. And there's a trend that's going to shift. That's people are going to start allocating more money to better experiences. So tablet traffic should get better. Two really cool tips right here: mobiletest.me and BrowserStack. These are both really fantastic tools that will help you see what your website looks like or what all your competitors' websites look like in any device. Mobiletest.me has a free 30-day trial. BrowserStack actually has a free 30-minute trial. But let's just take a quick jump over to mobiletest.me to see what that looks like. So here we are on mobiletest.me. I could log into our